The Adventures of Sodor, Episode 60. Gordon and Spencer's Race. I'm the fastest engine on Sodor! Spencer is the fastest engine on Sodor whenever he visits. Watch out, Big Silver! Who cares, lazy engine? It's Dennis! He used to be painted BR green with black wheels. He was a special locomotive as he was the last A4 built, so he got to choose his livery. When he was bought by the Duke and Duchess of Boxford, he was repainted silver, his face was painted not looking bedded, and his name was painted on the sides of it in the middle of his boiler in blue and teal with Boxford and his service number on his tender. He helps out with Gordon's Express and sometimes pulls the Duke and Duchess. Watch out, said Sam. It does not matter, said Spencer. One day, he was racing across the tracks. It was the 31st of January 2022 and he was enjoying his ride. Oh, I'm going to be at Napford in time, said Spencer. I hope all the engines will be there giving me a nice welcome. He whirred his wheels faster than he had ever done before. I now wonder if I should slow down, thought Spencer. He soon reached Henry's tunnel and raced through it. He echoed in the tunnel. This is a very nice tunnel. Even though I've been through it many times. Could be cleaned out though, maybe Henry being in it got it all dirty, but I would assume it was all cleaned out since that was over 50 years ago. Spencer raced across the line and took tight turns. We'll be at Knapford soon, said Spencer. The Duke and Duchess of Boxford were riding in Spencer's express train. Through Tidworth, he said, and last station we'll be at, well, of course, my favourite station, Knapford. Well, actually my favourite on Sodor's Figures Town. It's just so big and grand. But let's race over to Knapford, he said, because that's where I have to end my train. He quickly went over the small bridge and raced through Lower Tidworth. He quickly turned on the points and raced off into the distance over to Knapford. I am the best, I am the grandest, he said. His paint job matched the snow. And some kids that saw Spencer racing by thought it was just a big snowball racing by. He raced up the bridge, quickly raced across it, and soon raced into Knapford. Oh, hello there, he said. All the engines were there. And they were not happy. Even Hank had decided to come. Hello, Spencer, said Gordon. Can't stop, need to fill up on water, he said. And Spencer raced through Knapford and over to the sheds. Slow down, Spencer, said his driver. Not until I fill up on water, he said. He raced across the tight turns at Knapford, across Knapford's sheds. Slow down, Spencer, said his driver. Not right now, he said. Then he quickly raced into the yard. You're gonna cause an accident, Spencer, said his driver. But then Spencer quickly braked and came to a stop at the water tower. Ah, said Spencer. Have to keep hydrated. Says the engineer frequently forgets to, said Gordon. Maybe, Spencer, said Edward, if you weren't such a show-off, maybe we wouldn't be cross at you right now. Yes, and I've heard that you're big and strong, like me and Sam, said Hank. Oh, how correct. It's Hank, said Hank. Right, Henry, said Spencer. It's Hank, said Hank. Sorry, you just look so much like Henry. You're basically Henry but blue with the cowcatcher, said Spencer. He does make a good point there, but he still looks nothing like Henry, said Gordon. Gordon, said the Duke and Duchess, Spencer, why didn't you stop over at Knapford? Sorry, sir, but we need to fill up on water. But Spencer, said the Duke and Duchess, you seem to not care about us having our meetings. This has happened 5 times already. I'm sorry, I just need my water. If you keep on going by the platforms delaying our meetings, we will have to get you rid of being our private engine and get a new one, said the Duke and Duchess, and they walked over to have their meeting with Sir Topham Hatt. You should really take it more steady, Spencer, said Toby. Yes, said Percy, I might be taking the Christmas train back over to the mainland today, but just because you basically are the fastest engine on Sodor, even faster than Connor and Caitlin when they come, and you're the fastest engine on Sodor when you are on Sodor, does not mean you can just race across the tracks acting as if you're the pride of the line and just, well, delaying everyone. I'm sorry, Percy. Oh, I'm sorry, Percy, said Spencer. I understand that, but you see, steam engines don't need oil like diesels. Spencer quickly raced over to the platform to get ready to pick up the Duke and Duchess. You see, said Spencer, if we didn't have to burn coal and boil water, and we only had to, well, use diesel fuel, we would not be having this conversation right now. Spencer quickly raced into Knapford and came beside Gordon. Isn't that right, cousin? Said Spencer. You're sort of right there, Spencer, said Gordon. But just because we don't burn oil or fuel, diesel fuel, does not mean even if we did it would matter. Oh, cousin, it wouldn't. Well, it would if we have to also get rid of it. If we were electricity, it wouldn't matter that much. Oh, I suppose you're right, old Gord, said Spencer. Did he just call you Gord? asked Henry. He likes to call me that sometimes, just to make me feel bad, said Gordon, to make me believe him. Well, said Thomas, how about you both race, said Hank. I guess Thomas was about to say that, but this is just plot convenience, so it doesn't always seem Thomas is always the head of things and just, But anyway, how about you both race? We've already raced, Hank, said Gordon. Well, how about you race again? See who's the real fastest on the railway, said Hank. I think Hank's right, Gordon, said Spencer. Okay, if you say so, Spence, said Gordon. Perfect, said Spencer. The Duke and Duchess got into Spencer along with Sir Topham Hatt. You both ready? Said Edward. Yes, we are, said Gordon. As ready as I'll ever be, said Spencer. On your marks, said Henry. Yes, said Edward. Go, said Gordon. Sorry, cousin, we got to keep time, said Spencer, and he hurried away before Gordon could even start. Get back here, said Gordon. Go, Gordon, said all the engines, and Gordon raced after Spencer. He, however, was not streamlined. Spencer was an A4 who was streamlined, while Gordon was an A3 who wasn't. While A3s were not as fast as A4s, they did have the same wheel design, which was a 2.6, which was a 4.62. So they both had about an equal advantage. Soon Gordon quickly caught up to Spencer. "Hello, Spencer," said Gordon as he wheezed alongside. "You ready to lose?" "Is that what you really think?" said Spencer. "Yes, you ready to lose," said Gordon. You seem to be having a spot of snow on your coaches and yourself, Gordon," said Spencer. "I know I do, and you're not going to hold that, you big silver boulder," said Gordon. "Oh, big silver boulder, am I?" said Spencer. He blew steam at Gordon and raced away. "Big silver boulder," he said. "Big silver boulder." And he quickly steamed along the line. "Big silver boulder, big silver boulder." He quickly turned onto Gordon's right in hoping to slow him down. However, the signalman quickly turned the points, so Spencer went back onto his own line so Gordon could carry on racing on his own track. Gordon hurried along the tracks. He could not lose to Spencer. He released as much steam as he could and hurried across the rails. "You're going to win this, Gordon," said his driver, "if you just keep up this speed." "I know," said Gordon. He quickly caught back up to Spencer. "Hello, Spencer." "Goodbye, Spencer," said Gordon, and he quickly steamed across the tracks. "Silly engine," he thought. Who is he to think that he can beat the big old mighty Gordon?" And he raced across the tracks as fast as his wheels could carry him. "He's just another big silver boulder like the rest of these silver and white and grey engines on our railway that are painted that colour," said Gordon. And he whirred his wheels as much as he could and soon reached Henry's Tunnel. "Henry's Tunnel," he thought. "This will give me a great advantage. If he catches up, he won't know I'm in the lead." And he steamed through, thinking that Spencer was far behind. However, Spencer was following as fast as he could and was not that far behind. "Oh, who's Gordon to think that he can beat a big silver streamlined engine like me?" he said. "One slick and smooth and modern like me." He raced across the tracks as fast as he could. "Gordon's just a big blue engine that's just me, but blue. And that is not streamlined," he thought. "Now calm down," said his driver. "This is just a friendly race. I'm sure Hank did not mean for you to. Didn't mean you both to have a race." "No," said Spencer. "I am going to take the lead." He quickly caught back up to Gordon and reached by him. "Goodbye, Gordon," said Spencer. He decided to race across the tracks as fast as his wheels could carry him again. He was reaching up to Ellsbridge. Gordon began to race so fast his wheels were beginning to slip on the icy rails. Come on, said Gordon. His fire was trying to burn hotly, but he did eventually catch up to Spencer, even if he was beginning to freeze. "Come on, Spencer, you're too slow," he said, and he carried on across the tracks. "Too slow, am I?" said Spencer. Gordon really made Spencer cross now. "Too slow, am I? Take that!" And he whooshed snow onto Gordon. "Oh!" went Gordon. And then Spencer came by, and I said, then Dennis and Sam heard a whistle. "Oh, bother, not him again," said Sam. "Should I?" "Yes, come over onto my track, quickly," said Sam. Sam pushed the trucks and himself over to let Dennis get onto his track. "Thank you, Sam, you're a good friend," said Dennis. "You're welcome," said Sam. "Oh, but this train's heavy." "Quickly," said Sam. "We don't know how much more time they have." Then they heard Gordon's whistle. "Hurry, hurry, hurry," said Sam. "Oh, that was a close one," said Dennis. "It was," said Sam. Whoosh! "Oh, he was on the other track," said Dennis. "Yes, I think you can go back on that other track that you have just on," said Sam. "Okay," said Dennis. Whoosh! "I'm gonna get you, Spencer!" Whoosh! "Yeah, you can most certainly go back on that track now, Dennis. Thank you." Gordon was just inches from taking the lead, and Spencer was just a couple inches in the lead. And then he reached more snow onto Gordon. "Oh, why you stop doing that?" said Gordon. "No," said Spencer. He reached more and he steamed away. "You'll have to catch me if you want to win," he said. And he raced across the tracks. "I have no time for slow coaches like him," he said. "If he carries on joking about telling me to slow down, then I will have to do something about it," he said. He raced across the express line and through the tunnel. "I'll win this, I'll win this, I'll win this," said Spencer. He raced through the tunnel and soon steamed out the other side. "I will win this, I will win this, I will win this, I will win this," he said. And then it happened. He began to see a station up ahead. "A station?" said Spencer. And then he saw a red signal. "Slow down," said Spencer. His driver applied the brakes. Little did he know the signal had been forced down by snow. But he did not know that. Come on," said Spencer. Hurry up. Just then Gordon came racing by, and he blew chunks of snow at Spencer. "Goodbye, Spencer," said Gordon. "You're too slow now." "Well, the signal's down," said Spencer. Gordon raced through Crosby and whirred his wheels. Poor Spencer, he thought. He not being able to get a good grip on the rails, so he slides to a stop in front of a signal. Poor Spencer," said Gordon. "I wish I could help him. Poor Spencer," he thought. He had no idea that he had to stop, because he thought the signal was down. Gordon soon saw Wellsworth up ahead. He braked on the slippery tracks early, and soon slipped to a stop. "Oh, that was close," said Gordon. "Nearly didn't make that stop." "Oh well," he said, At least I can let Spencer catch up if he's still not waiting. Gordon tried to hold in his laugh. Okay, Gordon, we're going to have to put sand down on the tracks now. Okay, said Gordon, because your hill's up ahead, not my hill. But a big express engine like me should not have any trouble. Soon the guard's whistle blew, and he slipped on the rails and raced across the tracks. Alright, Gordon, time to put your sand boxes on. But he had no sand. Oh bother, said Gordon. We'll have to try, driver. Okay, said his driver. They came across the big turns and then tried to race up the hill when Gordon's wheels just came to a slipping stop. He came to a halt and his wheels were slipping on the icy tracks. Oh, help, help, said Gordon. I'm stuck on the icy rails. Help! He nearly kept on reaching the top, but soon he began to slide down a little, and every wheel turn only gave him a little bit of grip. This wheel slip though would not be good for the rails. We'll have to steam down, said his driver. No, I can do it, said Gordon. However, he was only inching to the top. Come on, Gordon, said his driver. We have to go back. Oh, if you say so, said Gordon. So Gordon slowed down and steamed down the hill. Oh dear, said Gordon. No sand equals no grip. We should have filled up my sand before we carried on with the race, said Gordon. You're quite right, said his driver. I'll have to wait up at Wellsworth and wait for Spencer to give me a push. Oh, the shame of it, said Gordon. No more, oh, the shame of it, said his driver. You already said that many years ago, over 50, when you were pulling trucks. And you got stuck on your hill, so Edward had to come and push you up, all because he didn't want to pull them. That time was different. There was not ice on the rails then. Today is different. We forgot to bring you sand, and the rails are slippery with ice. You make a good point, Gordon, but don't keep on reminding us of it. We don't want to keep on hearing it. Oh dear, said Gordon. They came to a stop at the bottom of the hill. We have to wait for Spencer. He'll have a good, and then he can give us a good run up. I wish this never happened, said Gordon. I can't keep waiting, said Spencer. I have a train to pull and a race to win. And he quickly steamed away. Luckily, he has a lot of sand in his sand boxes, so he has very good grip on the rails. Come on, driver, said Spencer. We can't be late. Okay, calm down, Spencer, said his driver. They were racing across the tracks. Gordon would have won the race by now. We waited a good 30 minutes at that signal. That's enough for him to be near Vicarstown. Little did he know that Gordon was waiting at the bottom of the hill for Spencer. Oh, poor old engine to me, he thought. And then he saw some coaches come into sight. Spencer laughed louder than ever as he pulled up beside Gordon. Oh, he laughed. Now look who's the old slow coach. Couldn't even make it up its own hill. Laughed Spencer. Well, maybe, said Gordon, if we didn't start the race so fast, then I would have had my sandboxes filled. Your sandboxes out of sand, said Spencer. Yes, and it's very not a laughing thing, said Gordon. Well, how about I push you up, said Spencer. I'd greatly appreciate that, said Gordon, as long as it's anything to get me away from you. Oh, don't worry, Gordon, we'll get you up in a couple of puffs. So Spencer seemed onto Gordon's line. Oh, laughed Spencer. Who would have thought that an old engine, well, both of us that are old, and that's an older engine than me, that has pulled an express train for over 50 years, but have so much trouble getting up a hill. Oh. And he pushed Gordon over to the hill. Spencer luckily had a ton of sand in his sandboxes, so he was able to push Gordon up the hill with ease. Gordon, however, was having his brakes on. I'm not going up, he said. But no matter how hard he tried to apply his brakes, Spencer slid him up the hill. It was dark by the time they reached Vickerstown, but Spencer pulled alongside Gordon when he finally reached there, after pushing him all the way to Vickerstown from Gordon too. So, what do I get in return? said Spencer. said Gordon. What do I get in return? Said Spencer. Thank you, Spencer, said Gordon angrily. Oh, you're welcome, Gordon, said Spencer. You ready to race, little brother, once you're done having your sand put in? Oh dear, said Gordon. Laughed Spencer. The Scotsman winked at Spencer, and then Spencer noticed something. Wait a second, why are you pulling my coaches? These coaches were gifted to me by the Duke and Duchess of Oxford. Well, said Scotsman, Sir Topham had to let me use them for the day, with the Duke and Duchess's permission, of course. That's right, said Sir Topham Hatt. Oh dear, said Spencer. Quite right, said Emma. He did give them permission. He did give Scotsman permission to use the coaches, Spencer, so you can't be cross, said Pip. Oh dear, said Spencer. I'd like to join the races too, if I could. Just then, Scotsman, Pip, Emma, Spencer and Gordon were surprised. An engine Gordon had not seen in years finally came back onto Sodor. Hello there. Do you all remember me? Oh, my big city engine, said Emma. Well, said Pip, what an entrance! What an entrance indeed, said Gordon. I did not even know you were now helping out on the railway, said Spencer. I've not seen you in years, Albert. Albert, said Gordon. Yes, it's French for Albert. Oh, said Gordon, that's two engines that I know of that have their name pronounced in French. And who's the other engine? Asked Albert. Well, it's an engine that used to work with Rocket back on the Rainhill trials. Rocket's now called Stephen, which is a nickname for him. But the engine that used to work with him on the Rainhill trials, when they were both on trial, was called Somperé. It's pronounced Sansperil or Perel, and he works on the trials with him until he got disqualified after his cylinder burst. But he did work on the railways Stephen 1 for about 2 years before he was taken off. Ah, said Albert. So yes. Anyways, I suppose you better get back to the sheds. Quite right, said the Duke and Duchess of Oxford. Spencer, we're glad that you helped Gordon today. While you did cause a small bit of issue with getting Gordon here, we are very pleased that you and Gordon was able to get here safely. Even if Gordon did need your help because he didn't have his sandboxes filled. Oh dear, said Gordon. Now Albert is going to make silly remarks about me. Well, good job, Spencer, said Albert. And Gordon, did I hear that correctly? You having your sandboxes not filled? Yes. Well, Gordon, I have one thing to tell you, and what's that? Make sure you get sands from the beach next time. Pip and Emma laughed. And so did Albert, everyone at the station, Flying Scotsman and Spencer. But Gordon just grumbled in old Gordon fashion. Oh,